All right. Well, welcome everybody. I'm back home with my green screen. Um, Drove the 534 miles back to my house today, then went to an intercessor's prayer meeting and all that. Let me check my sound, make sure my audio is working right. Yep, it's working right. Okay. Yep. And so on my way back home, I had um, a notification flash across the wire, and it interrupted things as I was driving along, listening to gospel music, all kinds of stuff, mostly sort of a country gospel stuff, like like Josh Turner, or excuse me, songs like "It Ain't No Grave," stuff like that. Stuff to toe tap and keep you awake type stuff. Some bluegrass stuff or whatever, gospel music. And that's not for everybody, but for me, it sure beats the same old stuff that's sang in church all the time. That you just, I mean, it's good, but I have little bit more variety. But anyway, driving back, there's something I wanted to say the other night when I didn't get a chance to say it. I wish I would have said it before I got the notification. But let's see, trying to figure out when this happened. I'm doing this off the cuff. Um, Iran. Yeah, Iran. I can't remember. I see Iran bombing began. I'm so terrible at this. I can't spell began. I'm looking at this on my phone. Oh, 5 days ago, whatever. On February 28th, 2026, Israel, United States launched joint airstrikes on Iran. It was when that evening or whatever. I think it was like March 1st or 2nd. It came to me. I think it was about March 1st, 2nd. And I'm not a prophet. I'm definitely not. This came to me, and I kind of like, huh, really? And I just going to tell you about it now, and then I'm going to elaborate. It is serious, and it it came to me that within 5 to at least a week from whatever day it was, March 1st or 2nd, somewhere around in that time frame, uh, the sleeper cells would be called to action in the United States. So 11 hours ago, and okay, get back on here. Here's the New York Post. I'm reading it out from my phone. Iran sends out suspected operational trigger to activate sleeper cells after this Khamenei's death, U.S. official warns. March 9th, 2026, 12:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I was driving home. I heard this. And possible operational trigger. That's exactly what I got beforehand. It was an operations will be triggered in about 7 days. And so roughly it's a little over 7 days now. So I'm not a prophet. I just knew that was going to happen. And the reason I said that is it's okay to go on vacation because they're going to take a while before they're activated. Well, now they are being activated. That means within the next 3 weeks to 4 weeks, roughly, they're going to have a few lone wolf attacks, people lighting bombs and trying to bomb Modami, but they didn't go off. I don't know if that was a show thing or whatever, but and trying to bomb some protesters. So there's going to be some wildcats going out there crazy people who are they're wannabes. They're just going to do it out of their own. We already had one incident with this guy wearing a Islamic T-shirt, Iranian T-shirt, shooting up people already. That's already happened. But the sleeper cells are more serious, and so be on your guard. Pray for your churches. Uh, because it's going to take them a while to do that. They probably have things planned, but they'll rescope things out. They'll map out things. They're very methodical, and then when they hit, they will hit. And so anything can happen in the next few days. We just don't know. And so I just want you to be warning, especially when the second part was, uh, I just saw that today as I was driving. I saw it pop up, and I didn't get a chance to listen to nothing. I just read about it. And so just be very cautious. And this is serious, very serious. You're dealing with a fanatical religion that wants to take over the world, that is working in cahoots with the modern leftist movement to get rid of the opposition. And the elite leftists think that they can control this monster. And we just don't know what's going to happen. So just be careful if you're at shopping malls, people gatherings, large gatherings, churches, concert events, whatever. I was actually shocked in Branson. You know, the Sight and Sound Theater. We saw David. I saw the play David there, and that had really super tight security. So I'm thankful that the places in Branson at least had some security. And but other venues in Branson probably do not have the type of security, or places like that, Pigeon Forge. You got uh, shows. We didn't go to any of these, so I can't speak if they have a security or not. But shows, they have all these different types of shows and venues and Elvis impersonators and just all over the place in Branson, and probably any tourist trap town probably have something like that. Michael Jackson impersonators, these concerts, and all this stuff. I don't think they're pretty well. I don't know if they have security or not. They may have a limited, but just be on guard, and prayed up, because I think these attacks are going to be quite severe, and they could be mimicking October 7th attack, targeting neighborhoods as well. And that's going to rile up the American people. And if they do that, I want to forewarn you what was coming to me. And this is not a prophecy. I'm not a prophet. Don't even think of this. It just came to me out. If it's true, it's true. It's not, it's not. I don't know. All I can say is that within this 3-week stretch, we'll be planning, plotting, then the main attacks will come within this 3-week, near the end of the 3-week, and into the 4th, 5th week. It'll probably happen. Some big ones all at once, all across the nation at a certain particular time. Bada boom, bada bang. And then they'll have some strung out afterwards. Massive attacks, mass casualties, mass death in America, and probably whatever. And I don't, Europe, UK may have some, but since you have Herr Starmer buttering up to the Islamists to help destroy the heritage of the British people, according to Fabian socialism, that he is a Fabian socialist. I bet you didn't know that I guess every other, or the vast majority of British prime ministers in the UK, Tony Blair being one, Keir Starmer, are Fabian socialists. In fact, it's your Labour Party primarily there, and then Fabian socialists take over, and they basically abide by theosophy. A motto is infiltrate all the cultural mountains of influence, put your people in power, and invert it, turn the world upside down. In fact, outside their headquarters, I heard they have an inverted, or their school, Fabian School of Economics, whatever it is, they have a globe turned upside down. And so they want to invert everything and destroy the system and burn it to the ground. All that exists deserves to perish so they can build back a better world, according to them, according to the Marxist lingo. I'm not going to be talking much about that, but they butter up to the migrants who are from a certain demographic who have these big tall towers and these annoying 5 time a day prayer at the middle of the night in the daytime. It's really annoying. And in the United States, they have cities that are going to cordon off and have Sharia law, which is a violation of our Constitution, which is actually domestic enemy, foreign enemies, domestic enemies who are threatening our constitutional republic, which is illegal. But since you have the First Amendment right, they're using that like any good Satanist or good devil will do to pit characteristics and laws against each other so they can get away with utter takeover. And you got the modern left in cahoots with them as well, because this is a war against all that's decent and good. All that's decent and good is called deplorables by these people. These are people like you and me who want to live and let live. We just want to get along with getting along. We're not totalitarians. We're not any of the things the left calls us. We just want to live and let live and have a good time and mind our own business and do what we want to do and scratch a living on this planet, whatever. And just be left alone. Leave us alone. We're tired of this. We don't want you. That's the American way. We're Americans. You mess with us, we're going to mess with you. But right now, they want to destroy all vestiges of your national heritage worldwide. They've done a good job in Britain. And the church is largely asleep, kind of brainwashed into a unjust pacifism without realizing that the book of Ecclesiastes says there's a time for war, there's a time for peace, there's a time to throw stones and not throw stones, so forth, etc. There's a time for every season and purpose in heaven. Ancient Israel was called to have an army to protect itself against whack jobs. And the church largely doesn't want to do that. They just want to, we're going to be persecuted, so let's just get ready for it. We can't do anything about it. We can't defend ourselves. We got to be doormats. Well, you have to figure that one out on your own. But what I'm trying to say here, I'm just giving you a good warning of what came to me. Just be prepared. What I'm basically saying is based on common sense and also observation of watching these things for years. And maybe the Lord did speak to me and just revealed to me that within the first week of this, first 5 days, it's going to take them before the sleeper cells are activated. So it's 9 days later, they're activated. That's from the FBI sources. That's from the government. The notification has gone out. And you need to be aware of it. And you're going to have Americans going ballistic if that happens. And it's not going to be this phobic Islamic garbage either. It's going to be boots on the ground. And just be prepared. We do not know what's going to happen. Things could really explode. It may not. But I just got a big, strong gut warning to warn people. I wasn't even going to come on tonight. I sat upstairs and I was watching I was watching a history show on the Western Desert in 1940-41, and some documentary, a World War II documentary. I better get down here and do this. I'm road lagged. I'm tired, but just want to warn you. You can tell me what you think in the comments, but it is really scary what may be happening. I'm thankful that the church I attend has strong security, and they have people who are armed and packing in the church. So, and they have 2 or 3 uniformed security guards as well, well armed as well. So I'm sure security will be heightened there. But other venues that are planned, concerts, whatever, most of what goes on in America, they have security. But if a mass amount of people come barging in, there so goes your security. So just be aware these people will be scoping things out. I was unnerved today because I was caught off guard. These people came up and they're saying we want to sign a petition for governor or something. I hope they're legitimate. It gets me, so I'll be I'll have the little Henry with me, homesteader with me tonight. I'll have I'll be packing. I'll be I'll have that thing right next to me. I don't know, so you just do not know what's going to happen. So I don't know if these people who are legitimate or not going around trying to petition people, maybe checking out who's who and who supports what organization or whatever, and maybe they're going to come back. I have no idea. My mind's wondering all kinds of things, because that I do take that as a legitimate warning when I saw that 11 hours ago, heard it, and then see it on the New York Post as well as other things, and from the FBI or the government issued it. You need to take heed. You're not dealing with rational people. The left is not rational. You can't deal with the modern woke leftist communist crowd. You cannot reason with them. They're beyond reason. And, in the Bible, when people became like that, at like Korah's rebellion, God opened up the earth and they fell through, then the rest had to be cleaned out. And there's sometimes there comes cases when that is the only alternative. As cruel as it sounds, there's, there are things like that do happen. And we're at a point now where these two sides have joined together. And so even the left and the Fabian socialists are in danger of being eradicated themselves, because they think they can tame the tiger and create this perfect world. After all that exists must perish. And this is where utopianism leads. Islamists have their utopia, Sharia law. I don't know what the feminists are going to do. They're going to go on to have a fashion show of black burqas. maybe, darker shades of black than the other person, and that would be the modern woman's wear. That'd be no bathing suits. Can't go to the gym. You're not allowed out of your house unless a man is with you. All kinds of things. Wow. Perfect world. Christianity offers a choice when before people none. We don't cram anything down your throat like people. I used to accuse Christians of cramming things down people's throat, but I was wrong. I was right about some reform type people who and very religious Nimrods, but I found out that they're few and far between. And usually Christians they have a live and let live. If you don't accept Christ, that's on you. They'll tell you about Christ, but they don't cram it down your throat. They don't force you to go to church. They don't force you to go to prayer 5 times a day. They don't force you to wear these weird clothes. Maybe some do, but I don't know. Cults, there have been Christian so-called cults around the world all the time that they've done some weird things. So I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the Church Universal by and large. And say, the 10 Commandments are very restrictive. Well, you don't even have to abide by them. You can live and break them every single day. God will keep calling you back and knock on your door trying to get you saved. And at the final curtain call, it's on you, baby. You've been warned. That's how Christianity works. We offer a choice, and you can reject or accept. It's that simple. Other religions don't. Well, what about in the past? Well, I can't speak for the Roman Catholic Church and the Inquisition, because I don't think that was very Christian, and that was diametrically opposed to the Bible. And that group of people in its history kept the Bible away from being written in their native language, because they wanted to basically, the elites control everything. They brought the mystery religions in and mixed it into Christianity at that time frame. And, well, just like the Thyatiran age did. So anyway, I won't get into all that, but I'm just saying that just be on your guard. And for some reason, I'm thinking within about 3 weeks, something may happen. I'm thinking a lot of fly-by-night crazy people will be motivated. They're really not the sleeper cells. They just want to make a name for themselves. There was a guy on an airplane that I saw a clip of shouting all kinds of Islamic stuff, and somebody tackled him and they pushed him on a seat to shut him up. And, just be prepared the best you can and prayed up and be observant of your surroundings. When you go to a place, look at the security. What type of security do they have? Most places in the United States have pretty good security or decent, but then again, if it's overwhelmed, what then? So they're looking for soft targets, especially gun-free zones. So if you're a gun-free zone, you're in trouble. Also pray for the state of Colorado. There's a new bill I just found out going to try to be passed or pass legislation. It's a Sex Workers Act, where sex workers prostitution will be legal, and basically child porn will be legalized, and consenting adults would be any like a 12-year-old. Okay, this is what I heard. I don't know if it's all true, but I just know that there is a sex worker thing, brought forth by our Democratic governor. Hallelujah. So that needs to be voted down. Just pray for Colorado. It's Democrats destroy the state they live in. They destroy the country they live in. So does the Labor Party, your liberal parties. Oh yeah, and I think that, don't quote me on this, I did a little research, and I think it might be 85%, maybe 90, maybe 95, somewhere around there, percent of all your prime ministers in Australia have been Fabian socialists. Their logo is a tortoise. Under it says, "When we strike hard." So they infiltrate with sheep's and wolf clothing through all the cultural institutions, and when they come to power, they take over, just like they're doing in the UK right now. Pre-planned, they planned this for hundreds of years. All correlated to the theosophy ideas of H.P. Blavatsky and Alice Bailey and the rest of the theosophists of the root race ages. Aleister Crowley made his prophecy from 1998 to 2014-15 will mark the end of the fifth root race stage, and the sixth root race stage will begin, which begins with the glorification and acceptance of androgyny. The trans G's, and enforcing that upon children too. H.P. Blavatsky wrote about it. I think it was in Secret Doctrine, one of the volumes of Secret Doctrine. But when you look at this stuff and you're seeing it's a timetable, And year 2025 was the year, in all probability, of the beginning stages of the externalization of the hierarchy and physical manifestation on the planet. And so we're beginning to see the AI, not the AI, but the UFO uncovering and disclosure coming out. So you have all kinds of things in the woodworks here. So just be prepared for anything. And when you put all this stuff together, I mean, these people, like the Fabian socialists who go by this stuff, think they are transitioning humanity into a new ideology of collectivism, the warmth of collectivism, and they're ripe for it, and they're going to go full gun ho for it. The Alice Bailey favored spiritual communism over the Stalinist communism, hard communism, industrial communism, with a more cultural. The whole plan is summed up as this: you take over all the cultural mountains of influence, and then you have that culture disciple the world and disciple the church. So the culture disciples the church. That's in that book, "Live Not by Lies." I'm reading, and that's where we are at. That's what you're looking at, and they are ready to go. They're on an occult timetable. I'm telling you, they really believe this trash. And they're not really smart, because they come to the seventh root race is the destruction of all that exists deserves to perish is actualized. And then you somehow enter this new utopia, this new evolutionary jump, whatever it is they talk about. They also, there's a video that came out of how they think. It's the amoeba video, or where they have all these amoebas and bacteria, and they form in a clump, and they have a cylon, some type of sheath around it, and it makes an organism. And so that, see, we are like bacteria. We're living in harmony with one another. We're just this big glob, and we take a shape. And then the material world came in, and so these globs became animals. We all came out of a primordial cesspool called evolution. One came out as a giraffe, another came out as a chimpanzee, another came out as a mosquito, and how absurd is that? But that's what these people believe, and so that's their idea that we are collectivist. We need to get back to our collectivist roots. This is the first root race stage. You are nebulous, whatever entity floating around in the nebulous in the mind of Lucifer, and where all your needs are met and the hierarchy's taking care of you. So you have to get rid of the material world, build it back better, destroy all that exists deserves to perish, so you get back to that state. This is very hermetic, very Gnostic. It's theosophy, it's Marxism, it's all the same trash. It's Fabian socialism, it's all the same trash, as well as some religions that are out to take over the world with an agenda. Were mistakes made in Christianity's past? Yeah, because any religion can be hijacked by unscrupulous people who are involved in this deeper, dark stuff. Builds public support. I guess, whatever they're thinking, who knows. But anyway, just want to let you know that. I'm just talking right now. So tell me what you think. I'll look at the live chat here, and then we'll close this out. See if anybody here. For some reason, they got an update on the restream, and I don't see. Oh, there it is. Now I do see it now. They do have the timer up there. Oh, 32 minutes. Okay. So I don't know how many people. Not very many people watching, because I came on unannounced. So I just wanted to warn you and all that. So I'm going to the live chat now. We'll just talk about it. Jason here writes, I read that Putin had a call with Trump and told him to stop the war, pretty much. And then you got to add that Trump is telling them to stop the war in Ukraine. Do you think anybody's going to listen to each other? um, on some other people and some of the watchmen are talking about, could be the precursor to World War III. Possibly, I don't know. I'm just saying, just be look up for your redemption draws nigh. Pray that, Lord, get me out of here. And because I talked to some Christians out there and some of my friends, and we haven't, we sense something is going to happen. We sense that the Lord may be coming back soon. And we know that something's not right. And it's really spinning getting ready to spin totally out of control, right in line with the book of Revelation and all this other stuff that the Lord warned us about. He told us he would warn us of danger to come. It's in the Bible, and he gives dreams and visions about it too. So February 28th is when the bombing started at night. So it's been roughly 9 days. So I just wish I would have told you. Maybe I did on some of my videos. I don't remember, but yeah. But now that week has passed and they actually announced the sleeper cell thing, just be on your guard. Now we're talking about gospel music. Beats the garbage on radio too, especially these days. Good old gospel music. Anything Christian. I gave my radio. I gave away my radio in 2020. I really don't listen to too much Christian radio. I just get tired of hearing the same old stuff. It's just, there's no beat to it. There's no life to it. There's no, I like a different pitch range. I don't like the same melodic droning. I'm a amateur musician. I love sound. I love harmonies. I love well put together music, all types. There's some great newer songs out there, but when you put them all together and they're the same droning thing used to set an ambiance or a vibration, to usher in the spirit, I have, jazz it up. I found out you just do sing from the heart. That works better than anything. And it can be newer stuff. It can be other stuff. And older stuff, whatever. You mix it together, jazz it up. I always jazzed up the old hymns. We did a bluegrass style, or we just, things like that. I'm working on my voice, trying to get it trained into a more bassy sound, so I can try to do let's see, Long Black Train, the Long Black Train by Josh Turner. So for some reason, I just like how he sings that thing. There's a long black train. And yeah. So those are just to me, that's just, I just like that gospel music, like Southern gospel. I like, bluegrass gospel. Country gospel is one of my favorite types. And it's just at that twang sound, that guitar, and I like Amos and Margaret Raber. You just look them up. They have a lot of good those tunes. And yeah, I like Paradise Road. Let's see what other ones I like. I like the Esh Sisters, and they sing Leroy Stolfus. And some people never heard of him, but he has some good ones out there. He has a good voice too. Talented, and a bunch of others I listen to. So too numerous. Let's see, the Redemption Quartet. I think it's the Redemption Quartet was another one that's real good. Primitive Quartet, if you like Southern gospel. It's sort of a bluegrass. Oh, I was able at the Praise Fest, I saw the Isaacs. Some of you know who the Isaacs are. Phenomenal gospel music. They play all styles. They had the bluegrass to regular, and it was just incredible. I've seen them live quite a few times, and I've always been blessed by them. There's a bunch of others. But anyway, I like to hear stuff that's more lively. It's hard to, something you can't really fall asleep to. I also like certain type of praise music that most people probably wouldn't listen to. But I was listening to some music that my friend over in Manhattan, Kansas, put on for me, and I'm listening to it, and I'm going, if you just tone down the instruments to the same level of the voices that were singing, you would have pretty close to the chorus of what I heard in heaven. It would be very close to it, not quite, but it would be that cacophony of sound, and you hear certain phrases being sung over and over again that extol certain attributes of God's character. Holy, holy, holy is He. That's one they sing, but there's others. Then I know there's a bunch of people singing, but if you listen closely, you begin to hear something else being sung. And when I was listening to it, I remembered there's a old recording. It's on the on the wax cylinder that used to use to make recordings of. It's very short, and they brought it out and they digitized it so you can hear it. And it's the music of the Welsh revival. It's kind of scratchy sounding, but go when you listen to it. What I heard in this video that my friend sent me, and as well as I got two of them. It does remind me of that type of singing in the Welsh revival. And it almost sounds like you can hear angels singing in the background. It really does. It's just the way the sound is. And you sit and you just, I never heard any, you don't really hear anything like that. It's not like a musical score. It just reminded me of some of the, the music I heard on my way to heaven, when I heard that I talked about it in my after death experience, it's that music and the instruments and the voices all blended together, all at the same kind of pitch level, kind of in there, and all this beautiful singing. Even though it was in a different language, I understood every word, and extolling the virtues and characters of God Almighty, but giving you the explanation of it. In fact, I was reading in the book of Ephesians that Paul prayed that we may have a deeper understanding of a knowledge of God, who He is, and wisdom and stuff about it. And that's what that music, when I heard up there after the after death experience, that's what I heard. So I heard that, and I go, wow. I said, put some headphones on, and he was listening to it. He told me put the headphones on, and I said, wow. I started crying. I said, this is so close to what I heard. Just got to tone down those instruments, blend them at the same level of the voices, and you'll get the mix. It's the closest thing. Awesome. I might put that video up sometime. You can listen to it if you want to, but I'll try to remember to put that up. But yeah, you got to have good music. It's a good thing to do is pray. Okay, here we go. I also read a news story telling people to get cash out of ATMs. I haven't heard that one yet. That's a good one, Jason. And there's a big Muslim population in Arizona. I don't think people realize how big it is, as well as Texas, as well as Colorado. You really, they smell blood. That's our blood. And the form of invasion is through immigration. It's in their Quran, or one of their Quran books. Yep. When I worked in the sheriff's department, I've been like this all the time. I'm always aware. I'm always looking around. I just can't help it. I worked in a jail. I always had to look around. You're just trained to do it. I worked with some of the most violent people, and you have to be on your guard. So be aware. Be aware of your surroundings. And I try to sit near exit doors, or in church, I like to sit near an exit in the back or something. There's two reasons I want to sit in the back of the church. I just don't want people to know who I am, find out who I am, and start all this stuff all over again. And also, I just like to be able to watch everybody. I just when you worked in the jail and I watched a pod area when someone needed a break, I was called to go in there. So I would go in the housing area, in the pod area, and I'd be sitting in the desk where the deputy is, and your back is against the wall and you can see everything. And so you just watch. You have your radio. If there's anything happens, you're ready. And so then plus you got to write reports. Pretty boring reports too, what happened in the pod that day with certain characters. But anyway, I won't get into that. But just be aware of your surroundings. Here's one. Francis for Jesus, we live right next to Dearborn, Michigan. It's awful. I've seen photos of it. I seen a few years ago what they were doing in the streets, chasing people out. It's awful. It's beyond awful. So just be aware. These people can be anywhere in the country. And now they're forming their groups. They're making their plans. They're going to travel to their destinations. They're going to case the joint. I hope those people were legitimate going around asking for signatures for whoever's running for governor in the Republican Party. So if they were, or if not, I don't know. Scoping the neighborhood out. That's why I'm going to have that Henry Homesteader next to me the next few days. So anyway, just be on guard and do the best you can. If your state allows conceal and carry, just be on guard. So anyway, this is where we get all this happened when I want to laugh. When George Bush Sr. got to power, began, and then Bill Clinton got in for 8 years. That was slowed down a bit. And then you had George Bush Jr., which I did not like at all. I was forced to vote to him because the two people he ran against were a faster ride to slide into communism than he was. And he lived up exactly to my expectations of him. Compromising, never defending himself. He was on the same side as the people protesting against him. He didn't care. And Obama comes sliding on in there for 8 years and really set the tone. And when it got too unfashionable for mass migration, he put a stop to it, supposedly. But the borders were left wide open. Then old Hillary was supposed to win the election, but she lost, and then Trump came in, and he is the fly in the ointment of the totalitarian pipe dream of utopia. And so they're doing everything they can to get rid of him or force him to compromise and be part of the program. So far, he doesn't seem to be part of the program. Well, then we had 4 years of Biden, which opened the floodgates as fast as they could. And you saw what happened. We lived through it. Unfortunately for the UK, you got to ask yourself, what type of voting machines do you use over there? And stuff is coming out about these voting machines you need to pay attention to. It's not only all on the up and up. So you know, it is a literal push for a one world new order. It's exactly what it's about. That's what we're looking at. It's I mean, it's insane. It is really insane. Okay, I'm gonna have to get going. Let me get up here. I'm gonna get down here to the bottom of this. Yeah, I grew up on Southern gospel, fell in love with Jesus music in the 70s as a teenager. Still my favorite go-to. Amen. Okay, I haven't. I'll download it. I'll not download it. I'll send a link to you guys. You can listen to this and just, it is an hour long. And so right about the middle of it is when you start really hearing things. I just sat there for like almost a half hour listening to it, and I'm going, wow, it just went by fast. I just closed my eyes, and I'll put it on there. I don't even know what to call it. And I'll go back and put it in the description also on Facebook too. I didn't put any music this time on there. So anyway, if you'd like to hear it, you'll hear it. And me too. Okay. Okay. It's right, Jason. It's wise to keep your eyes out, because I know you guys are seeing it too. But it's when I couldn't when the first bomb fell, and I woke up the next morning, and I came up, and it was like real strong. Wait about 5 days, the sleeper cells will beginning to activate. Within 5 days, we had a shooting, which was a wannabe. And you had this thing in New York just recently, the other day, with Mondami's office. The bombs didn't go off, but and you had the guy on the plane within that realm. And now 9 days later, they give a warning about sleeper cells being activated even as we speak. These people ain't dumb. They're planning something big. They could attack nuclear reactors. They can cripple our electrical grid. Who knows? Yeah, you just keep pointing people to Jesus. Hallelujah. That's what I told some folks I was talking to, is at Skywatch TV, just sitting in the audience talking to some folks. And that's what we're talking about. The best thing to do is try to get people saved, throw out the call, um, disciple people if you know how to do that, make an impact for Christ some way or another, and keep praying. Lord, get me out of here. Watch and pray that you be counted worthy to escape these things. And just do your best. I'm reading. I probably do maybe a short teaching, maybe tomorrow or the next day. I don't know, on Ephesians. There, it's also going to teach on something. I could do it in just a few minutes. I'll do a real quick teaching on something. Okay. Bush Jr. had to have his war. Yeah, yeah. So when is the rapture? I don't know. I said we all feel. A lot of us feel it's coming soon. Yeah, I don't want to be here for any of that stuff. I don't either. Wait, you skipped my question. Okay, I missed a question. All right, where's your question? Oh, yeah. I'm trying to find Belk's question. Oh, there's the question. Okay. Brian, do you think demons chill or hang out in hell? I asked because I read you describe demons sitting on ledges and stuff, mocking you as you pass. I don't think they're chilling. They hate being there, and they will tear. They enjoy having their way with you. I'll put it mildly. And I don't call it chilling. I call it planning and scheming and talking trash. And they have a unique camaraderie with each other. And I try to convey it in my book. The original copy got edited, too many cuss words, so I had to make them. I had to take out the cuss words and make them sound like something. You know, they do rhyme when they speak, and they're very deceptive. And I try to capture that the best I can. They jostle each other. They're like gangsters, you know, the hood gangsters, you know, boys in the hood type gangster type thing. They talk trash to each other, but they're very tight, close, and they're very deceptive. And they hate being there, and they also want to bring as many people down there because they live by the words of, I think Guter, who wrote the play or the book Faust, which is, I never read the book. I mean, I read parts of it and throughout your education, but Mephistopheles is a character, you know, touting that all that exists deserves to perish, which sums up actually what the devil believes. Can't get his way. He's going to burn everything down. And that's what these things think. And they know their appointed time is coming. And they know it. And they're just biding their time down there, and they're doing their thing, tormenting people, enacting scenes in their life. One nightmare in wait, you live in a little cell. You can't. People in a cell don't realize they're in a cell, and they go through one nightmare after another. Whatever it is, people chasing you, waking up in darkness, having sleep paralysis, never waking up. Those types of things are common inside the cells. And people never really, they just wake up into a new nightmare. And they don't even realize they're in a small cell. But the demons help all that along. So, yeah, don't call it chilling. I call it pre-planning. You have to pray for the protection of Trump. That's what we need to do. Let me get down here. I'll go to that teaching real. So keep. Oh yeah, the cathedrals. Yeah, those are good cathedrals. I like Triumphant. Legacy 5's okay. The Gaither vocal band has really unique ability in their music if you listen to them. I'm trying to think of a few others. Yeah. I do like the Primitive Quartet, but they got too old and they stopped. I always like listening to them because everybody played an instrument, banjos, whatever. And I do like the Isaacs, and there's quite a few other, and I can't remember. Oh, the Booth Brothers. So at the Praise Fest, the Booth Brothers were there. So both Booth Brothers were. One of them came back after a sabbatical, I guess, and all three of them were there. You know, so it was good to see them all back together. Let's see. Signature Sound. I was not aware that the Signature Sound got a new bass guy. I can't remember the bass player's name, but they were always good. I'm trying to think of a few others that are good. But those are some of the Southern gospel. But then you have the country style singing and whatever. I just like it. I like some of the rock gospel to rockabilly. I like rockabilly gospel. You have to hear it to believe it, but it's there. Josh Turner does a fairly decent job on some of it. Some of Amos Raber's song has some of that in it, rockabilly sound. Saved by Grace, I think that's the name of one. I put it on one of the videos down there where you can watch it. Yeah, and there's a few others. Okay. Legacy 5. Yep. The original Legacy 5. There's another group, and I have a CD of them. I can't remember them. What's their name? Can't remember their name. I'll think about it. Okay. Okay, let me go down here, down past where I go back. I'm going to go to a short teaching here just a second. So I got back to his question. So I got back to your question. Let me go below here. See if there are any other questions. Oh, yeah, Johnny Cash. Can't forget old Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash. Some of the older ones, too. Some of the bluegrass. I'm talking about the Stanley Brothers. Some of them have some old time bluegrass gospel. Yeah, I guess you have to grow up in the area or something to appreciate that type of music. Rockabilly. I'll try to put that Amos Raber song on there again too. Anyway, I am going to do a little teaching, and I'm just going to close out as something I saw. I sent it off to Jason K, and I wrote it down. And so I'm going to go to the Bible here. It's going to be very short. It's not going to be very long. And just to think about this. It's Hosea chapter 6. When I was reading it, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I've read it so many times. I know the commentaries, everything about it on these verses. It's Hosea chapter 6, verses 1 through 3. It says, "Come, let us return to the Lord, for he has torn, but he will heal us. He has stricken, but he will bind us up. After 2 days, he'll revive us. On the third day, he'll raise us up, that we may live in his sight. Let us pursue the knowledge of the Lord. His going forth is established as the morning. He'll come to us like the rain, like the latter and former rain to the earth." Very cryptic. So most people, and then most commentaries will say in verse 2, after 2 days he'll revive us, and the third day he'll raised up, which applies to Jesus and the crucifixion, death, burial, and resurrection of Christ. He'll raise us up to newness of life. He who believes on me, Jesus says, for God so loved the world that whoever believes on him shall not perish but have everlasting life. He'll raise you up on the third day. This is very common knowledge. But when you look at the context about the latter and former rain, I read it a little different. So I hear the chapter 6, verse 1, "Come, let us return to the Lord, for he is torn, but he will heal us. He has stricken, but he will bind us up." And it was like, that's a message of revival. You come to your senses, you admit your wrongdoings, your lackadaisicalness, whatever, and you start really seeking the Lord for these things to happen. That's like a revival. And then in verse 2, after 2 days, he will revive us. And it gives this cryptic thing in the book of Peter, 1 Peter, I think it is, 1,000 years as 1 day to the Lord. 1 day as 1,000 years to the Lord. So for 2,000 years, he will revive us. And on the third day, he'll raise us up. So in somewhere near the end of the 2,000 years, right around when the 3,000 year mark, he's going to raise us up, the rapture. Well, that's pretty good. And then in the meantime, what do? Let us know. Let us pursue knowledge of the Lord. His going forth is established as the morning. He'll come to us like the rain, like the latter and former rain to the earth. I hope you can hear it. I hope you can hear what I'm saying. I just thought that was pretty cool. I really did. So Micah 7:15. What do I have in Micah 7:15? I wrote it down here. Oh yeah, it's just as in the days when you came out of the land of Egypt, I will show them marvelous things. It's just about the Lord showing marvelous things to his people again at that time. So, yeah. So, anyway, I just thought that was interesting. It's not really a big teaching, it's just something to think about. Yeah, I was thinking about that. And there's other ones that shown me too. And out of the book of Ephesians, I have to deal with that later. I'll be more prepared to go over that. It's about getting to know the knowledge of the Lord and the certain key words in there and some of the grammar and what it means. And some of the word order is I'll give you one example, then close with this. Ephesians. Okay. I can't remember what I had. It's Ephesians chapter 3, verse 16. That he would grant you, according to the riches of his glory, to be strengthened with might through his Spirit in the inner man. Well, the original Greek order, might, is before the word strengthened. And when you read it in its original order, word order, because they translated it to make sense, easier for us to make sense out of. But the word might is dunamis. And the word strengthen is this poly something. It means putting it together, strengthened. It means like dunamis will strengthen what? The inner man. The might, the strength, and that's where we get the word dynamite. It means mighty, miraculous power, but also means moral virtue, a miraculous power of living according and developing the fortitude of moral integrity, moral virtue. That's one of the meanings of dunamis. It's a mighty working of God inside of you, and it's just the mighty power of God. It's the strength. It's this power of God to create a moral virtue in you of truth, the fruit of the Spirit. So I look at that. So you have might. You have the dunamis provides the strength. So it's God's giving you this mighty power to strengthen us through his Spirit, our inner being, our inner man. For what reason? That Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, that you being rooted and grounded in love, being able to comprehend with all the saints what is the width, the length, the depth and height, and to know the love of Christ, which passes knowledge, that you may be filled with all the fullness of God. To me, that's pretty intense, but I'll teach on that later so you can see more of the intenseness of it. I just thought it was interesting. But anyway, I better go. So I'll go back to the live chat, close this out, and say goodbye. Not goodbye, but see you. Good night. We'll see you guys. Good night. You guys have a good night. Amen. Oh, we have one more question. So we praying the end of the world? I don't understand the question. You're praying that you be counted worthy to escape these things. Yeah, we pray during the time of the world's end. We don't know when it will end, so to speak, but just it's a good idea to pray. Yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. With that, I'm gonna go sign off. I'll put this up here. I will try to uh, um, here's the contact information, website, email. If you'd like to support me in any way, shape, or form, please do. It helps a lot. My information there is on PayPal. My 2 books, Land Unknown, Hell's Dominion, and Heaven Beckons. With that, I'll sign off. I'm starting to yawn. My road lag is hitting me, so I better go to sleep. I literally drove 900 miles. So close to 400 one day and 534 today, which is not much. But I am getting a little road lag tired. So with that, you guys be blessed in Jesus' name.